Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we are actually going to be trying a new brand to me. This is a brand that I've wanted to try for quite a while and I figured we would do a video on it. We're going to be trying some Chantecaille products today. I actually purchased these a while ago when they were doing their Sylvie sale that they do, I believe once a year. And I'm just now getting around to filming this video, but I wanted to try these things with you for the first time. I've just always been very interested in this brand. So we're gonna try out some of their products today. If you're new here, my name is Blair. I do all kinds of beauty and makeup content here on YouTube every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I hope you'll subscribe and let's get started. All right, so I did order 5 products. I wanted to order more, but honestly, these 5 were quite pricey and I got them on sale. So we only have 5 to try out, but maybe if I like the stuff, maybe I'll try more in the future. But let's get into it. I did try one of these things already and I have been wearing it quite a bit. So one of them I've tried, the other 4 I have not. So let's start with probably the product I was most interested in, which is this. This is the Future Skin Oil-Free Gel Foundation. I feel like I've been hearing about this product for years. I think, wasn't this the product they used, is it Euphoria, the show, a few years ago? I guess, I don't know if I'm making that up, but I think that's kind of what got this product viral, I guess, if you could even call it that. But I wanted to try this. This is a very expensive product. This retails for $89. I did get mine on sale. I think the Sylvie sale is 25% off. So I did save a little bit, but still not an inexpensive product by any means. So let's try this out. I had a little bit of trouble picking my shade. I ended up going with the shade Alabaster. Fingers crossed this is good for me. I don't know, but this is what it looks like. Really the only negative thing I feel like I've ever heard about this product is the packaging, which I can definitely see why. Okay, yeah, so it's definitely messy. So mine looks like this. I think the cap is in the lid here. There's like a little protective thing, I think, but now it's stuck in the cap. So let's swatch this on my hand. This is, let's see, what do they say about this? It comes in 15 shades. It says it's a groundbreaking oil-free gel foundation with a refreshing light texture and unique formula made of 60% water. So you're paying $89 for 60% water. It's a bit concerning, but it also says provides adjustable medium to full coverage. That's interesting. I would not think of this as medium, definitely not full coverage, but that's what it says. Has aloe and arnica for soothing abilities, while rosemary and green tea also included. These are rich antioxidants crafted in Japan. So let's try this out. Okay. So yeah, it feels like a gel, like a moisturizer. So this is shade Alabaster. Feels very nice. It's a cream, kind of like a creamy gel. Ooh, maybe that is going to be a good shade, actually. I really struggled picking, so hopefully this is okay. All right, I believe they suggest applying this with your hands. I am not a hands person when it comes to makeup, so I'm going to use a brush because I just personally like a brush. So let's get into it. I'm just going to apply it like I normally would. I'm going to try to start out sparingly since it claims medium to full coverage. Feels really, really hydrating. In the swatch, at least. I'm using the 106 from BK Beauty to apply this. Okay, so it's very easy to apply. Definitely, yeah, I like a gel texture for sure. It looks like a cream, like you would look at this and think, oh, that's like a thicker cream foundation, but it applies like a gel. blend it on this side. I do think I may have nailed the shade match. Okay, initial thoughts, just applying that first layer. Very light coverage as of now. I did not apply a lot of it, so we'll try to build it up in a moment, but definitely not medium coverage, not even close to medium coverage. This is definitely light to me, but I will say it looks literally undetectable on my skin. Undetectable. Like you cannot see a trace of anything that looks like makeup on my skin. My skin just looks very, very slightly more even and very hydrated, but not even close to like a makeup look. Let's try to add some more of this. I'm just gonna get some on the brush this time, I think, and we'll see if this can be built up. I'm very impressed that I got this shade match right, because I think this is literally a perfect shade match for me. All right, so we're just gonna apply some more over here. It does say in the how to use section on the website, for extra coverage, apply an additional layer. Can be worn alone or mixed with a drop of liquid Lumiere or Rose Demi face oil for a sheer radiant glow. So that did add a little bit of coverage. Still not a ton though. I don't know if I would say this is medium, unless I'm just like not applying enough of it. Let's add a little bit more to this side also. It does not bother me if it's not like a full coverage, I should say that. I'm just wondering because it does say in the description that it's medium to full, which is kind of interesting. Because for me, I prefer something more sheer to start off with, or not necessarily sheer, but I like a lighter coverage, and then I like to apply concealer just in areas where I need it. Also, I typically do my under eyes first. I didn't do that today. We'll go in and add corrector under here in a minute, but there it is with that second layer. I still think, I mean, closer to medium coverage now, but still I don't think a solid medium coverage. However, it looks really pretty on my skin. Yeah, I mean, it looks undetectable. I mean, my skin just looks like my skin, just a little bit more even. It feels wonderful on my skin. It's also fragrance free, which I appreciate. But yeah, I mean, it looks beautiful. It's just not as much coverage as they're saying that it is on me. All right, for the sake of the video, I'm gonna add a little bit more and just see what happens. The reason I don't love using my fingers for face products is, to me, if you have sensitive skin, the last thing you want to do is like be rubbing your face constantly with something, because usually if you have sensitive skin, you most likely have more reactive skin, meaning the more that you kind of disrupt it, the more irritated and sensitive it gets. So that's one of the main reasons I don't do that. A little bit more coverage. We'll just stop there. I do notice, and I noticed this on the back of my hand too, where I applied that swatch earlier, it like totally dried down. Has a little bit of a sheen left over, but it did not stay as radiant and glowy as it looked initially. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and apply some corrector under my eyes. I'm just gonna use my trusty Bobbi Brown, the original, in the shade Bisque. Like I said earlier, I usually do this first, but I figured we would just get right into the foundation. But usually, once I add a little bit of corrector under my eyes, I can be less distracted by the darkness I have under my eyes. It's hard for me to really judge products when I'm distracted by that. Look at that. Look at the difference corrector makes, it's crazy. Okay, so we've got our corrector on. I'm gonna add some concealer, and I am gonna set this with a little bit of powder. I don't have a Chantecaille concealer or a Chantecaille powder, so I'm gonna do that, and then we'll move on to bronzer and blush. I am gonna add a little bit of coverage here with my concealer because I have some other stuff to film today and I want a little bit more coverage than this, but I want you to see what it looks like before I add anything else. I mean, it looks absolutely beautiful on my skin. So natural, very pretty, just not a ton of coverage. Okay, so I added my concealer and my powder. Now we're gonna move on to bronzer. I did get the Real Bronze bronzer. Now this was one of the limited edition ones they did for summertime. That's how long I've had this package. This was like a summertime release in this blue kind of, I don't know what you would even call this blue fun packaging like this. I got the shade Sirena. I was torn between this one and what is the darker one called? Now the name is like totally left me. I can't even think of it. I can't think of what it is, but this is what the bronzer looks like. This is another product I feel like I've not heard much negative anything about it, so I'm very excited to try this. I believe this is, oh gosh, that feels nice. So this is the shade Sirena. Wow, that felt really, really nice in the swatch. So smooth. So that is Sirena. I'm very curious how this will compare to like the Hourglass bronzers. That's kind of what that reminded me of, just swatching it. Now I have to look up the name of the other bronzer because that's gonna bother me that I can't remember it. Because I went back and forth on which one to get. Goa was the name of the darker color. So let's try this out. I'm gonna use this with a Rephr number 5 brush. Pretty color. I was worried this one might be too warm, but it looks like it's gonna be a good shade. Oh yeah, that is a really pretty bronzer. I love the color. Okay, I'm glad that I went with this shade because this was the one thing I went kind of back and forth on when I was ordering. I couldn't decide because I feel like I see the most people talking about Goa, which is the darker one. And that one looked to be a little bit more of like a red undertone. But this one is nice. All right, the bronzer is really beautiful. Yeah, it looks really beautiful on my skin, very natural and just blends right into the skin. This formula is very unique. It's like almost feels like a cream a little bit when you swatch it, but then when you apply it, it like melts into the skin, but then sets like a powder. I don't know, it's a very unique formula, but this so far I really like. Okay, I also got one of these. These are the blushes, and this was, all of the colors here looked really pretty. I kind of had trouble picking the shade of this as well. I ended up going with Laughter, and it's the one with, is that coral on the front of the box? Most of the products have different animals on the front, especially the blushes and the single eyeshadows that I believe part of the proceeds for each sale go to supporting those animals, which is really cool. But this is the one that I got. So it's the one, yeah, that has coral on the inside. This is very tiny though. I was a little bit shocked. Like, here it is next to my face. Trying to compare it to another blush. So here's a Benefit blush next to it. So it's very, very small. But let's try this out. I want to swatch it. Ooh, so it feels similar to that bronzer formula. Okay, so there is the blush right there, and then that's the bronzer. So that is the shade Coral. So it's very subtle, very muted, which I like in a blush. I'm hoping this is going to be more of like a buildable formula. That's what it looks like to me. It does have some shimmer in it. It has like a gold reflect in it. I'm going to use this brush from Smashbox to apply this. It's a pretty color. This color kind of reminds me of NARS Orgasm. Maybe a little bit more pink than that, but that's kind of what this is reminding me of. Love the color. Very, very pretty. It has a good bit of a sheen to it. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah, it looks really nice on my skin. I don't know that I see anything like super, super special about it, just based on trying it one time. I'm gonna go around with my foundation brush and just kind of tap around. Make sure everything is nice and blended. All right, so the blushes retail for $44 and the bronzer, this bronzer retails for $84. It looks like the bronzer in the original packaging is $82, so I guess this one is more because it's limited edition packaging. I don't know, but definitely very, very pricey. This one, I will say the blush, the packaging is very not anything special. I would think for this brand, this packaging would be a little bit heavier. I don't know. I also feel like maybe even the outside should have a little bit more than just like the silver mirrored. I don't know. I'm just thinking based on the price. I'm going to go ahead and do my brows. I'll just speed through that and then we'll move on to eyes and lips. Okay, let's move on to the eyes. So this is the Mermaid Eye color in the shade Sylvie. Now this is the product that I've used. I've used this quite a bit actually. I may have even used this in a video, but I ordered this when I ordered the rest of this stuff. This is something I've wanted for a very long time. So this is what it looks like. Years ago, I saw in, I don't remember if it was a Vogue video or I don't remember what video it was, but there was something I was watching on YouTube and Hilary Duff was using this color. So that is Sylvie right there. It's a really pretty brown, kind of like a taupey brown. It has just a little bit of sheen to it. It's a really, really pretty color, but I saw her using this shadow in that video and ever since then I wanted it. So this was one of the reasons why I wanted to try this brand in the first place. So this I have already used and I really like it. All right, so I'm going to use a MAC 217 brush and I'm just going to apply this all over. So I'm going to put it on the lid and bring it up into the crease. This is pretty pigmented, so you really don't need a lot of it unless you're wanting like a really intense kind of smoky eye. You could apply more and get that, but it's a really pretty one and done neutral shadow. This formula is really nice. It feels kind of like a cream to powder to me. It's very creamy when you feel it, like just to swatch it, but then it dries down to more of a powder finish. That seems to be kind of the theme with a lot of these products. Like the blushes kind of feel that way, and the bronzer also kind of feels that way. But that's all we're gonna do on the eyes. I'm just gonna take what's left over on my brush here and drag it underneath. The only other thing I might do, because this is something I do with pretty much any makeup look, is take the bronzer that we use. So I'm gonna take this one in Sirena, and I'm just gonna add a little bit of this in the crease. Before we move on, I do have one final Chantecaille product. This I've owned for a while. So this is the only product I have tried prior to making this order. This is one of their single shadows in Cheetah. So it has the cute little cheetah on the front. And these always intrigued me, just honestly for the fact that they have the animals on the front. I love that. So the luminescent eye shades on the website, it says every single shimmery luminescent eye shade echoes the earthy beauty of African wildlife while helping to support endangered species across the continent. The powder melts onto the lids without any fallout. You can easily sheer it out or intensify the color without creasing. So I love that they support wildlife. I love that. I kind of want to put a little bit of this on my eyes, just right here. I will say I really like this shadow. Now it's very pricey. Like I said, these are $56, but I mean, it is a beautiful shadow. I bought this one because it was the most neutral and I knew I would use it. And I don't think I've ever paired it with this Sylvie shadow, but it adds just a little bit of something to the eyes. That's really pretty. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of liner, some mascara, and we'll come back and finish up with the lips. Okay, let's finish up with lips. I did get one of their Lip Chics. This is a smooth, hydrating lipstick infused with hyaluronic acid for lips that look glossy and plump. And the color I got in this is Patience. I think, yeah, this is just a really light, neutral color. So that's it there. Kind of like a beigey pink. Very glossy, very sheer, which is my preferred type of lip product. Let me line my lips with, I guess we'll use this, which is Suede from Sephora. So we got that on, and now we'll go in with this in Patience. Pretty color. Looks good actually with that lip liner. Very thin feeling, but very, very hydrating. Feels like a lip balm with some color. Shiny, but not as shiny as some of the other things that I have. Like, not quite as shiny as the Hourglass, Phantom Glossy Balms, or as shiny as the YSLs, but feels nice on my lips. All right, that is everything. I wanted to go through the products and give you overall my thoughts and if I think it's worth the price. Obviously I need to wear these things, see how they wear, and I'll update you in the future, but based on trying them this time, the foundation, this is beautiful on the skin. It is so, I mean, it truly does not look like makeup. It looked, I don't know if it will show on camera, but even after building this up a few times, it still did not look like makeup on my skin. It just looked like my skin was very hydrated, radiant, and just healthy looking, and a bit more evenness in tone all over. The main thing I would say about this is correct me if I'm wrong, if you have this foundation or you've tried it, let me know your thoughts, but I'm not sure why they would say it's medium to full coverage unless you are really getting a lot of product on and really applying it heavily. I do not see this as medium to full coverage. I would say I was able to get it kind of close to medium, but I don't even know if I would say it was a medium coverage after building it up a few times. But that doesn't bother me. I like a lighter coverage for every day, like I said earlier. So that is something I would wear on a daily basis anyway, but I did just want to point that out because it does say that in the description and I'm not sure where that's coming from. But I think it is beautiful. I have some other things to film today, so I'm going to have this makeup on all day. So I'll see how it wears, and if I have any updated thoughts, I'll put them in the description box. But it is beautiful. I can definitely also see where the packaging would get annoying. I think that's a very common complaint with this product. Like I said earlier, I would assume maybe at some point they will change the packaging just because this is very messy. Not practical to be sticking your finger in it or even sticking a brush in unless it's like a freshly washed brush. So I don't know about that, but I do think it's pretty. Is it worth $90? I don't know. I can't say 100% at this point that I think that it is, but I do think it's beautiful. I want to keep testing it and I'll let you know my thoughts. We also tried the bronzer. Now this is probably what I'm most impressed with. There's two things that I'm really impressed with. This is one of them. This is a beautiful bronzer. The formula, like I was saying earlier, is so unique and just really nice. This feels so silky. I mean, it is incredible. It truly looks like one with the skin. When you apply it, it blends right in. It does not look like you've applied a powder. It just looks like it's part of your skin naturally. That's how great it applies and blends. So this I'm very impressed with. I do think the formula is something special with the bronzer. Obviously, everybody has a different definition of what they think is worth the money. I do think at a discount, this is worth it. Would I pay $84 for it? I don't know. It's nice though. It's nice. Probably, or it is one of my favorites from this collection of products. Moving on to the blush. The blush, it's okay. It's pretty. It looks nice on my skin. I gotta say, I'm not sure this is worth $44 though. First of all, the packaging, it's not heavy at all. It feels very lightweight and it's very plain on the outside. Like I feel they could have done something a little bit more special on the outside, and the blush is okay. I mean, it's a nice luminous blush. The formula is nice, very similar to the bronzer, but there are so many wonderful powder blushes out there. I don't know that I can say this is anything special, and $44, that's pricey for blush. I don't know that I would run out and buy another one of these, but I do think it looks nice. I mean, it blends beautifully on the skin. I just don't know that I can say it's anything super special. They do donate part of the proceeds for the blushes to different wildlife organizations, which is amazing. But I don't know, I'm not like over the moon impressed with the blush. The cream eyeshadow, I love. I've been using this, like I said, I've used this quite a bit since I purchased it, and this is beautiful. It's such a good one and done neutral brown, a little bit on the cooler side. It has a little bit of a shimmer in it, but just slight. It's not glittery. It's just got a little bit of a luminous quality to it, but it is beautiful. I have worn this quite a bit. It wears well on me, it lasts on me, and I would definitely recommend these. I only have one color, but I do really like the shade Sylvie. And I have to say, the Cheetah shadow looks really pretty on top of it. And the lip. So the lip is $42. I don't know if I can say this is worth $42. I mean, the packaging is nothing special. It feels very lightweight, nothing like luxe, like the YSL Candy Glaze. I want to say is a little bit less than that, and it feels really heavy, Really, really nice and weighty. This is, I mean, there's nothing special about this at all. It's nice, it looks pretty. It's the type of lip product that I like and wear. Feels nice on my lips. I like the color, but I don't know that this is worth $42. That's a bit of a stretch to me. It's nice, but nothing special. That is everything that we tried today. Let me know in the comments if you've tried anything from Chantecaille. If you have something that you love, let us know in the comments. If you have things you've tried that you're not crazy about, let us know that too. I love to learn from what you guys say and what you've tried and your thoughts on products. I know we all benefit from that in the comments, so definitely let me know. But overall, I think the look we created is beautiful. It's very natural. This is a very Blair everyday makeup look. I love the vibe of this brand. I love that they donate proceeds, that they're philanthropic. I love that, but it's expensive. So gotta kind of pick and choose what you think is worth it for you. But overall, the look we created, I think, is very nice. Thank you so much for watching. I will have all the products linked for you below. When I'm filming this, they are having a sale, a Black Friday sale. I'm not sure when this video is going up, so I'm not sure it'll be on sale when it does. But if the sale is still going on, just letting you know, everything will be linked below. I do use affiliate links that support my channel. So thank you so much if you do choose to shop through them. I hope you'll subscribe if you haven't already and follow me over on Instagram at simply.blair and TikTok simply.blair1. And I will see you next time. Remember, simply be you.